Hello my gorgeous Cancerians, thank you so much for joining me for your September reading in 2017. I'm Lorian and this is your general reading for Cancer Sun, Rising and Moon. If you'd like a personal reading from me, all you need to do is click the link below and it'll take you to all my readings that I have on my webpage. Similarly, if you would just like to inquire about which reading is best for you, I do take all your questions at loriantarot@gmail.com. So without further ado, let's see what's coming through for my dear Cancerians. Now, I am sorry that it's quite dark. It's only 6 p.m. and I'm in a west-facing room. And normally the sunset is beaming straight in, but it's been incredibly dark today. So this summer, guys, it's just been one cloud after another. So let's hope that we have a nice, lovely autumn in this northern hemisphere. So let's see. Okay, so they're saying that there may be some kind of changes coming through, and they keep giving me the number 9, and the 9 is the number of letting go. It's sort of confusion as well, but it's also kind of just before completion. So I think for a lot of you Cancerians there could be some completion things coming through. So you start with the World, and then we have the King of Wands. Oh, the Magician. You've got some good cards here. The Hermit, wow. The Sun, you can ask for a better card. 4 of Cups, the High Priestess, and the 4 of Swords. So the only things you've got here are 4s that may be counted as a little bit negative. And out of 8 cards, that's not too bad. Also at the end you have the 8 of Cups. So this is kind of what I was saying with the 9 that they keep showing me. You may have to walk away from some things, changing things, things are ending, things are kind of coming to a close, maybe phasing out a little bit. So I'll get to that in a second. Okay. Wow, it seems like there's a lot to do. Basically, you have a lot to do in this very, very short time of September. This is not just physically, I think this is also to do with your mental state, your emotions, how they're playing out sometimes as well, how you're feeling in yourself. I also believe that there's a little bit of touch and go with a few of you. It might be that you're slightly worried about how to interpret something, so it could be that you're not quite sure as to how somebody meant something when they were talking to you, or just something similar like that. I think so. Be aware of maybe your language that you use sometimes, especially in the beginning 5 days of September, because we're still in Mercury retrograde, so people could take things the wrong way, basically. So let's start with the World. Very similar to the 9 basically that they kept showing me, is that this is about renewal. This is about completion. So you have things ending, but in order to start again you have to maybe take stock of what went before. And the World is also about finding your place in it, you know. It's about figuring out where you should stand, where you are, who you want to be, how you want to be. Everything really that seems to come through with a joyous type of, okay, universe, take me wherever you need to go. Now this to me looks a little bit like the jet stream, so it could be that you're literally jetting off somewhere, or wanting to go somewhere new, or wanting to find something new for yourself, trying a different occasion, trying a different I don't know how to explain it really, but it just seems like you're going to try something different within this, and it's going to go well because you do have the Sun here. Okay, so they are saying there's a little pregnant lady here. So I would say that, yeah, you could potentially be conceiving with your loved one. So be extra careful, I think, with this. This could be also giving birth to something brand new for you in general. So it could be the fact that you have this certain amount of idealism and kind of a little bit of a maybe pedestal for your changes that you want to create. But I do feel that things are actually moving, they're growing tall. You're actually having a lot of energy that will benefit you. So don't worry too much about how you may be see things. I think a lot of you are actually going to be reaping the benefit of some things that are coming around for you right now. It's just about kind of grabbing onto that stream, if you will, and then being able to move towards something that you can really build, you know, not just kind of dragging on somebody else's coattails, but certainly being or behaving like you want to continue in your career or in your loving relationship, or if you want to be a certain way in your environment at work, you can do that. And it's basically just grabbing the things that you need in order to get started, basically. Here we have the King of Wands. Now the King of Wands is an incredibly strong card. It could be an air sign, so it could be Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries male, even female really, but again we have the World here. He's looking at where he wants to go. Now in my mind this could be a Sagittarius because they are very much known as the travellers and they do like to wander around. But I do feel that you're kind of passing on your knowledge this month as well. So while you could encounter a fire sign, I do think that the importance will be of you to expand your mind and expand your knowledge this month. Sometimes it can be that you're a little bit too within your shell, little crab shell Cancerians, but I do think overall you are ready. You are ready to expand, you are ready to invite people into this very tight circle that you may have for yourself. So I don't think that you have to worry too much about where you go, what you're doing, how you're behaving. It's just kind of making sure that you have that determination. But the reason that I think you may get a little bit burned or even burned out by somebody who may come around you, this may not be your actions, it may be somebody coming around you who's just a little bit too enthusiastic, too in your face, too I know everything. The reason I say that is because you have the Four of Cups here. Now this is you basically being a little bit drained, and I would say that it could be you have a little bit of apathy towards things and you're kind of like, well, what's the point if Roger from next door is just going to be yabbering at me about how big his car is? You know, what's the point in trying to better myself if everywhere else I go people are doing better than me? And so it could be a little bit of like self-criticism that you're doing. For instance, looking at things that you've achieved before and thinking, well, they weren't anything. Please don't do that. Please do not put yourself in that bracket. The best thing that I can say for you to do is just to try and look at it from a different way, you know, kind of look past the illusion of thinking that you're not as good as, say, for instance, this guy. Now, I'm not saying that all Sagittarians do this, but they do have a habit of putting themselves on a high pedestal themselves. So in my experience, not all, like I say, not all Sagittarians, maybe 2 out of 5, I would say they know everything. So it could be that somebody in your life who's maybe not Sagittarian even, maybe just somebody with that personality of a Sagittarian who says, hey, I know this, or you say, oh wow, I'm just going to do this, and they just like pick your plans apart. They just say, no, you can't do this won't work because of this won't work because of this, well, you can't do this because what's the point, and blah blah blah, and they just kind of threaten your energy and your enthusiasm for something that you're doing. I would say ignore that if you can. Ignore that, because that is not worth draining yourself over. Stay within yourself, because you're the magician and you're the high priestess. What else do you need? You know, this could be you and a partner, you being in perfect duality, or it could just be you mastering a craft as well as mastering your mind. So the art of runes and tarot and scrying and having that information from the gods or from the guides or whoever, that is very much a mental ability, and all the knowledge behind you can research till you blue in the face, but if you don't practice it, it won't come through. And then that's the art of practicing it. You know, you have to put your money where the mouth is. You have to kind of engage with the universe. You have to feel that energy in your hands. You have to feel that kind of aura that you have. Check your chakras if you need to. Charge yourself up with crystals. Keep yourself protected during the course of whatever it is you're going through. Just make sure that you're feeling very in tune with yourself and not letting everybody else dull your shine, because I do feel that this is going to be quite a positive stance for you. I don't see that you have too much to worry about in these two cards. It's more about how you figure things out for yourself. I think that again, it's kind of trial and error with this. You have the ability to manifest if you want to, so I think that you should do that. If you want to manifest love, if you want to manifest happiness or success, it's within your grasp. All you have to do is continuously study your spirituality. Even if you don't think you're very spiritual, it's fine. What do you believe in? Practice that, you know? And I do think you'll be surprised at the results that may come through from that thought, because it's all about progression. It's all about finding where you stand in life and maybe how you relate to things and how everything relates to each other. I mean, you do get a great sense of community recently with the relief efforts that have been through, Texas and all that kind of stuff. You see that community, you see that beautiful connection that everybody is trying to help each other, everybody's gathering round. We have people coming through to basically provide assistance from nature's wrath, really. And that is kind of putting their spiritual practice into practice. It's definitely a craft, it's definitely showing that kind of connection. But I do feel like there's a lot of intention coming from these cards for you. It feels like you are making things work and you're wanting to go forwards. The only stumbling block is this kind of person who may try and knock your confidence, and even if they do set out to knock your confidence, I don't think that you have to worry too much about that, because all you have to do is knock them back. Shut them down. Imagine that there's a steel frame around you that's just absorbing their negativity or bouncing it off, and it doesn't touch you. It just reflects back at them and goes into ions or whatever it is and positive energy, and it does not affect you any longer. And that's all you really need to do with them, because here you have the Hermit. This is you actually having that spiritual experience. Now, when I say spiritual experience, some people say that hearing people sing is a spiritual experience. Some people say walking in nature is a spiritual experience, which it kind of is. But however you're touched, whatever makes you thrilled, that's a spiritual experience. Even if it's being on your own, having a wonderful meal, just, whatever it is, that's unique to you. And I think you should bask in it. I think you should really take the energy that's coming to you here and maybe going forwards with it, because I don't see that there's anything negative within that card, and certainly not in this one either. It's more like recuperation, making sure your energy is a little bit better, making sure that your understanding of certain things are a bit better, and generally feeling like you're able to move forwards. So if you do need to rest, the Hermit is about rest as well, and being calm, being quiet, just being very kind of genteel and not really worrying about anything. Just be very calm and quiet, and then I think you'll be able to really move forwards and get the recovery that you need. And then the theme that seems to be overriding your reading is very much the Eight of Cups. So this will be like extinguishing the final ember of what has been a very big journey so far, but ultimately something that's coming to an end that you can move forwards and start maybe in September, maybe mid-September, but certainly from October onwards, which is really exciting to think about, really. Let's have a look and see what comes through when I do your runes for you. Okay, who are you? Great. So this is Knaz. This is creativity and probably a little bit of gathering knowledge too. I would say that you'd be inspired to actually move towards something that's maybe in your reach now. And I would also say that you will kind of deny false hope. You will not say, hey, I'm not being creative here. Hey, I feel like I'm down in the dumps or whatever. So I think this inspiration is coming from maybe seeing the fact that you do have options and that you do have things coming forwards here. Ooh, okay. So really this one is Ehwaz, and this one basically comes through saying about protection, maybe a little bit of defense as well, because I think that this is basically saying defend yourself. Trustworthiness, you need to know who to trust. Motivation, you may have a struggle with motivation. Yeah, I do feel that this is something to do with maybe a little bit of somebody trying to destroy your confidence. Don't let them. Please do not let them destroy your confidence. Make sure that you move past them, because, you know, for instance, if this is you conceiving and you do conceive, somebody might go, well, you're not fit to be a parent. And you go, oh wow. Hey, no, maybe I'm not. Or hey, shut the hell up, you know, that kind of thing. Because you are. You may just need a rest and to recuperate and figure out how you're going to handle it. But you are. Don't let them steal your thunder. Don't let them kind of bat you back down. Just they think they know best, okay? So, similarly with any situation, if you've got a project, a new lover, a new job, anything, or you decided to leave your job for the freedom, don't let people say, that's a stupid decision. You know, just don't let them, because you know yourself. Okay, so we have two here. The first one is very much about self-discipline, study, meditation, and this is Thursaz. So, sorry, Thursaz. It's all these thithers. I can't really do it. But it is something that seems to suggest that you will have to study a lot and meditate, and it couldn't have come in a more perfect place, really. This is about kind of putting your thoughts into practice, making sure that you're getting things done, connecting, because the guides are already listening. They listen to everything, but they cannot do anything if you don't ask them. They will try in general, but unless you say, hey guys, I need some help here, they will not, they won't necessarily come in to intervene. Now this is Yara, so this is happiness and hope, and maybe a little bit of earlier efforts realised. So the more that you practice and the more that you put this into effort, I think that you will start to see things moving forwards at a greater pace, to be honest. This is all about divine timing, and I also feel that something seems to be coming through with a bit more prosperity for you. So you could see things actually improve greatly over this course. Okay, and the last one, ooh, okay. So it's not actually, yeah, I would say this is reverse, because it's kind of, you know, it looks the same either way you do it. So I'd say this is kind of reverse, unfortunately. And this is a little bit of hardship or sickness. So again, maybe you'll at the end of the month just need to kind of wind down because of all the busyness that you've done. Maybe you've driven yourself a little bit energy wise, you know. But I do think that ultimately, sorry, this is Hagelas as well. I do think that ultimately this is about your testing yourself. Maybe you test yourself to the limit just a little bit too much. Maybe you push yourself just a little bit too much, and therefore you need that kind of reflection that just makes you take a deep breath, and then you're able to kind of ease into it, or ease into whatever is coming through for you. But I honestly feel that this is a really good reading for you, Cancer. It really is a strong reading. I think that you're going to make absolute headway in whatever direction you want to do. It doesn't seem like there's any bad or negative things overriding it. It's just to be mindful of people who may be a little bit jealous of your choice and your determination in changing your life, because we all know that as soon as we decide to try and increase our own intelligence, our own vibration, there will be shadow people who constantly try and throw energetic spears to ruin your day. So you don't really need to focus on them. I don't think you need to focus on them at all. Be you, be yourself. But let me know how it goes in September. I really would love to hear about things and how they're going. What do you have planned? Is there anything that resonates here with you? Do let me know. I really look forward to reading for you in October as well. If you want a personal reading from me, all you have to do is go to the link to the website, which is below, or you can email me, laurienttarot@gmail.com, and we can organise which reading's best for you. And if you want to support me on the channel, go to Patreon. I do have some more videos down there, but really do wish you all the best for the month ahead. Take care of yourself, keep in touch. Thank you for your subscriptions, and I look forward to speaking to you all soon.